Welcome to It Takes Two. My name is Chris.
My name is Blair.
And we are here to review Love Island USA Season 7, Episode 9. I need you to subscribe, like, share, comment, all the above. Listen here. Blair's back. Yeah! You still remember how to do this?
I do.
You sure?
Yeah, I appreciate y'all supporting Chris and Blair Bear. They was holding it down.
Yes, we were.
Blair Bear's cool.
Mm-hmm.
She's not quite me.
Okay, she's not. She's not. I think Blair Bear keeps her opinions to herself.
I think so too.
Okay. You ready?
She did her best. Yes, I'm ready.
Listen here. Usually we start off with some points, but I only have one point that I want to ask throughout the episode that I want to see your comments on, and I want your opinion on, Blair. Do y'all like the new Bombshells? It just seems like we can't make nobody happy. People are not happy with the male Bombshells. People are not happy with the women Bombshells. So how do y'all feel about the Bombshells? You ready, Blair?
I'm ready.
Walk us through this episode, please.
So Jeremiah is talking to Huda after she dragged him to the side.
She did.
Quite literally. And she's asking him if he defended their relationship or not when the guys had comments. If she was playing it safe, she would have never told him about her daughter. And she tells him, don't let comments from other people bother you. And he tells her he's human. Stuff is going to bother him. He's here for a partner, so he's going to try to react differently to comments in the future. And then she just gets on top of him, starts kissing him and telling him that she likes him a lot. Taylor and Olandria, after they get done their thing, encourage Ace to lick off the icing off of Shelly. He does it, and they're standing right in front of Austin.
Literally right in front of Austin. Now, listen here, right? This is coming off of last episode that happened to where Jeremiah, all of a sudden, his mood has changed because, as Austin said, they got in his head, right? One thing I did not like what Huda said, Blair, was that if I knew that you was going to play it safe, I wouldn't have told you that I had a daughter.
And that's what gets me about Huda.
Yeah, it's weird.
I'm just like, why is it this huge secret that you have a child?
Yeah.
Like, I understand not introducing someone to your child and you don't really know them that well, but girl, like, that's a part of you. You're a mother. Like, and I understand on this show, it's kind of, you know, when we go into it, you know, it would be looked at as baggage in a way. Okay. So I get her not wanting to come out with it because it might slim down her pickings. But that's what it is. You're a mom, girl.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, so I really don't understand or even put it like this. It's not that I don't understand. I don't respect someone who's willing to base someone else's reaction based on your truth. Yeah. Your truth is that you're a mom. And if they want to accept you or date you or explore you as an option on Love Island, like, they have to accept all of you, not parts of you. What is your thoughts on Ace and Shelly?
I think that they are just gravitated towards each other. The chemistry is there. It's not there with Austin. They had that conversation about where they thought they were better as friends. So I don't quite understand how they got back to exploring each other. I feel like we missed something there. But clearly, Shelly and Ace are into each other, and I agree that the love triangle situation needs to quit. So
clearly, here's the thing. I just don't see it.
I feel like they're into each other enough to be coupled up and not be dragging other people into their stuff. Like, y'all want to get to know each other. Y'all want to have fun. So focus on that until a Bombshell or somebody enters in. Neither one of y'all are interested in. He's definitely not interested in Amaya.
No, facts.
And Shelly, like I said, they were talking about being friends before. So I really don't know how the switch flipped for her. Yeah, the thing about it is, I think Shelly is playing into this whole devious plan of Ace, of this whole cat and mouse game. Listen here, I understand that Taylor and Olandria, they was basically being, basically the devil on the other shoulder saying liquor, 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 liquor. But I find it very interesting that the guy who has a problem with physical touch is always initiating the physical touch to the point where his tongue is on another woman's cleavage. Like, I just find his story and the way he's moving around, the scene, it just seems very fake to me. It's very calculated.
It seems very, but it's not calculated, because calculated will give off the impression that you're moving smart. I don't think this is smart.
I just think that they're bad calculations. But I think that he tried to calculate, especially with him choosing Amaya when he had the choice to choose Shelly. I really do think that he was trying to get Shelly to, like, light a fire under her behind to come at him. Because remember, like, that comment that he made when he was like, holla at me or come at me or something like that. And Shelly and Olandria was like, you mean you want to pull her for a chat? Like, what are you talking about?
Yeah, it just, yeah, it's weird. Let's keep going.
So Austin and Charlie talk on the dock. Charlie tells Austin that, Charlie tells Austin that Shelly is into Ace, like pretty much hanging up flat screen. Austin is just tired of this love triangle. He can't blame Ace for what's going on because Ace still has to go out for what he wants. Austin is going to sleep on it, then try to talk to Shelly in the morning, but he doesn't want to chase her and give up his pride.
Well, here's the thing about it, Austin. You should feel disrespected. Like, everything that's happening is happening right in front of your face. The fact that, hey, we get to lick pie when the challenge is over off of your chest or off of your girl's chest, it's all happening in front of your face. So now you got to make the choice, Austin, on what you're going to do. And truth be told, I think he should just go back to trying to talk to Amaya. She is airheaded enough to I think that he should just start talking to her and just give up the chase with Shelly, because at the end of the day, I don't even believe that he truly likes Shelly that much either, more than he want to be safe.
Right. So Shelly tells Amaya that she's just exploring her connection with Ace. Pretty much there wasn't any sneaky stuff going on, and they're both really fooling with each other as friends, and they're kind of past the drama.
Okay.
Ace is going to sleep in Soul Ties by himself, and he asked Nick to help him make hibachi breakfast tomorrow morning for someone, and he still doesn't say who it is.
Here's the thing about it, man. Ace, you got to stop pulling everybody to basically recruit this girl.
Yeah.
Nick got his own girl that he got to try to keep and things of that nature. Now, granted, he's 100% for Sierra because Bella's gone. But at the same time, this whole like, hey, we go do a yoga session the day before. And then now, okay, that fell through. Then we go do hibachi the next day. Hey, Nick, I need you to be the cook. Yesterday, I needed you to be the yoga instructor. It's like, yo, it seems like everybody here is basically there to serve Ace instead of actually focusing on exploring. So forget the whole, like, that's why I really can't. Now listen, I'm going to give Jeremiah a little bail out of jail for this one. I can't give Jeremiah too much flack for being focused on one girl while all the guys are there to focus on basically serving Ace. Like, I'm just like, it's not like Nick's out there exploring all the other girls. It's not like Taylor's out there exploring all the other girls. But yet they giving Jeremiah flack for being closed off with Huda, where you over here want to be in hibachi cooking and things like that. Listen, I don't get it. I don't understand how this short 22-year-old is running the villa. Yeah. I really don't. But, who am I?
And there was a small little scene where Nick was looking at Olandria, and Olandria was telling him, no, Nick. And apparently, I guess they have pillow fights from time to time. So yes. Nick did it. Shelly jumped in. Taylor jumped in. But I would like to see Olandria and Nick just try to see if maybe there could possibly be something, because I think they clicked, to be honest. But I don't think Nick is going to do it. So we get to the next day. Ace tells Taylor to basically read this fake text to Shelly to get her to come down for hibachi breakfast.
Okay.
And Ace is also telling Taylor that he needs to do something for Olandria.
Why do Ace got to tell you to do so for the girl you with?
So Austin asks Ace who he's cooking for, and he says Shelly. Austin hurries up and makes some eggs and a bacon and brings up some breakfast to her. So Nick escorts Shelly to breakfast. After he finishes cooking, they sit down to eat and talk, and she just tells him that she's a bit overwhelmed between Ace and Austin.
What is your thoughts on this scene, Blair?
I thought it was a nice gesture. I agree with you that I'm kind of annoyed. And the thing is, in Love Island, we see people recruit their friends to help them do different things. But I would like to see in the beginning, when you're trying to apply pressure to your person, that you do it off of your own accord. Like, what can you come up with? And I get that he is being creative, so I'll give him that. Yeah. But I would like to see what he can muster up for himself for Shelly. Without having to involve all the other guys and stuff like that. And then also for Austin, I'm not going to be mad at him. Hurry up and get your eggs in before she gets her hibachi breakfast, because if you still have your ring and a hat, you need to let it be known. And then when it comes to, they're talking, their conversation, I just feel like Shelly's going to have to make a decision at some point. It's to me, it's starting to drag, because I don't think that she's really into Austin like that. So
yeah, and the thing about it is, I think the girls have the power in the next recoupling, and that's why whenever Ace is doing this calculated, not calculated move, it doesn't, at least for me, it doesn't help if he leave a sour taste in one of the girls' mouths while she has the power. Facts. You get what I'm saying? So I think in this moment, or if we go back to other moments in previous episode, the whole fallout with Amaya, it just came off as mean-spirited. You get what I'm saying? It wasn't like it wasn't like a mutual break. Like you broke her basically in that way. So now when I see Ace and I see Shelly, it's kind of like y'all having the same conversations. Y'all not really moving forward in the whole thing. And I understand you can't move forward because y'all are with other people. But at the same time, it's like, hey, y'all are doing this little cat and mouse game, and after a while, I think it does get old on Love Island, right? Yeah. Also, Taylor, no other guy should have to tell you to do anything for your girl. Facts. Like
that lets me know like he's really not that interested.
And I'm just like, who are you interested in, Taylor? Or what does it look like when you are interested? It like this is still early on in the process, so I really don't understand if he feel like he got the cat in the bag. I don't know if he knows that, hey, when it comes between them two, we are kind of cheering on for Nick and Olandria. We not really like he's not a personality enough to where we could get behind them and then we get him to the finals. So it's like we kind of want better for Olandria because we want someone who's willing to basically go to second base with her. As she's saying, hey, you could kiss me, you could touch me, you could show affection, and things of that nature. I did like the little small parts of Amaya coming down. She tried to cook herself breakfast. She saw Ace, and she just went right back upstairs and things like that.
Yeah, to me, it seems like Taylor's here for vacation, and he's here to hang out with the guys. Yeah. It's not like he's really interested in forming like a real connection or bond with somebody until somebody like Ace tells him, you know, we're on Love Island, right? Like, you need to to put in some effort towards a lady. We ain't just hanging out in Fiji.
Facts.
So Ace is feeding Shelly her breakfast. He talks about how he wants intimacy with her, but he wants to do it the right way. And he tells her he has a date for her tomorrow morning. He's going to plan something else.
Okay.
Now Austin is doing handstand push-ups in the middle, I think, to try to get some attention. And Shelly's looking at him, and Ace is like, keep your eyes over here.
Hey, no, listen, if there's one way to get attention, do handstand push-ups. I feel you, brother.
So Huda is watching Jeremiah work out, and she's still planning to tell Nick about her being a mom, so that way Jeremiah has a guy to talk to and confide in.
Now, this is the equivalent. Remember last episode, Jeremiah was talking about how she is condescending in some way. She's patronizing me, patting me on top of the head, talking about good job, and I feel like a kid. Now, I feel like he only used that example because he found out that she's a mom.
Yeah.
But this is an example of her acting like he's a kid. Hey, go make friends with that boy over there. Go talk to that boy, and guess what? I'm gonna go tell him that I'm a mom, so you can have somebody to confide in. So basically, we can have somebody to confide in. So I'm like, how come Jeremiah can't do that on his own? That's why I don't respect nothing that Jeremiah is doing in this point. I understand there's people who are team Jeremiah, but I'm like, everything that Jeremiah has done so far has been motivated by Huda. Like, Huda is basically telling him what to do. Go be friends with Nick, because that's your best friend, and I'm going to tell him that I'm a mom, and you can confide in him.
But it's frustrating to me because she acts like it's such a big secret. Like, every time she drops it, it's like she's dropping a bomb. I'm a mom.
Yeah.
Like, what are we supposed to be like? Oh, my gosh. Like, okay. Happy Mother's Day. I don't know what to say.
I mean, that's true. That's facts.
So Amaya and Austin chat. She asks how he's feeling, and Austin just is exhausted with the love triangle. She's talking about how she likes to see his bubbly self, and they both are just talking about how they're alike, how they like to address issues head on, not to be passive aggressive. And she's talking about she wants to see him smile more. And he says, as long as you're around, you make me smile, girl. You make me smile. That had me cracking up. This whole episode had me cracking up with these little people's like one-liners and stuff like that. Because to me, it felt like Austin, he was being friendly, and maybe I'm reading into it, but I think Austin was just kind of like, all right, now,
yeah,
get out my face.
pretty much. I think I read the same thing too.
Yeah,
I think Amaya, based off of the fallout she had with Ace publicly,
turned a lot of guys off.
I think it turned guys off.
Yeah,
I think like her story is already written. Basically like, hey, you are somebody who is a fireball. Now, granted, I feel like, truthfully, your reaction to Ace's boundaries, I guess, was, I did say it was too much, right? I did feel like he did make you crazy in the sense of like, hey, he chose you, but then in literally less than an hour later, he said, I didn't choose you. I'm going to explore other options. But in that moment, you have to literally take him for his word and be like, okay, he want to be just friends. I have to find a way to not make enemies here this early.
Yeah.
And that's what Huda was trying to do when they had that coupling, to where she was like, y'all need some real men, trying to make it a gender war this early in episode 3.
Right.
So the fact that like Austin's actions with her is very different than the night that he kissed her and things like that.
Yeah, their vibe is
very different.
They don't have a vibe anymore.
No. It's very different. And I don't think he's feeling her. I don't think he's feeling her based off of the whole Ace and her fallout. Yep.
So Huda pulls Nick to the side.
Here we go.
And reveals her big secret that she is a mom. Nick says, Mamacita. Okay. She says no like a child, like I'm a mother.
Yes.
And Nick is asking, so how is Jeremiah feeling about it? And Huda's like, he's fine with it. He loves kids. And I think this is part of like the little like white lies or delusions that Huda tells herself, because Jeremiah didn't quite say that.
No, he didn't.
So Nick knows that Jeremiah really likes Huda and she is all in with him. Nick talking about how he's jealous. He would love a kid so bad and he would be the fun uncle. And he feels like she has a lot of courage for coming on here, revealing that she has baggage, which some might consider a kid to be baggage. And Nick talks about how he donated his sperm to a couple who couldn't have kids. So he does have a, child in the world, but he would like to be a father one day to a child.
Do you have any thoughts on this?
Yeah, I just think Nick is just such like a cool person.
Okay.
Like, I think that he's easy to talk to. Like the way he handled the conversation was really good. And I also was surprised to learn that he was a sperm donor. Like that was really surprising to learn. But I think that I'm more so interested in the conversation he has with Jeremiah, because what is he going to say to Huda? Like, why did you come here?
Pretty much.
So what about you?
Here's the thing about it. How you represent or present the situation to me is going to give me a hint on how to react to it.
Right.
So if you present yourself as a mom, or if you present yourself that you have a child as baggage, I'm going to treat it as baggage, right? So the fact that, as Blair said, that she basically making it like, hey, all the girls know and Jeremiah know, but you can't tell nobody else, as if there's not cameras 24/7 across this whole villa, right?
Yeah.
And as if it's such a big secret. It's one thing if she was to say, I'm pregnant. Like, that's different, right?
Yeah.
But the fact that you have a 4 or 5-year-old child and things of that nature, and you're trying to basically say, hey, I'm a mom. Okay. And I actually think Nick's reaction, even though it may come off as nice, I think it was fake nice. I think like, oh, okay, yeah, I'll be the best uncle ever. Man, listen here. Nobody is not thinking about that kid, not in a disrespectful way, but I'm like, I don't know the kid. We are all the way in Fiji. Okay. like I will have no interaction with this kid.
Yeah.
So this whole idea of you being a mom really does not affect anybody but you in this moment. It doesn't even affect Jeremiah. You live on the East Coast, he live on the West Coast. So it really has nothing to do with your current experience. So the fact that she's presenting it as baggage, guess what? I'm going to treat it as baggage. Yeah. Besides presenting it as something proudly and actually giving people the full power and the full basically knowledge of, hey, if I am exploring someone, I'm exploring someone that has a child. Besides, hey, I'm a mom. That's weird,
Yeah. So as we know, Ace gave Taylor the task of the day. So Taylor is now ready to get Ace to teach a dance class for him in Olandria.
Oh boy.
So Ace says he's going to teach salsa.
Okay.
So he got them dancing together, putting roses in their hair. And at the end of the dance, Taylor grabs her and just starts tugging her down, making out with her. And as soon as he's done kissing her, he chest bumps Ace. And I was just kind of like, can you hold her a little bit? Like, you running straight to your boy, high-fiving everybody. Like, to me, it felt like very like showboaty. Like, I was just like, so you did this so that way people can see like, yeah, I'm trying. Or are you doing this for Olandria to really feel connected to you? I felt like it was all for show.
Yeah, I felt like he did something that he did what he was told to do.
Right.
Basically, you go do this salsa class, and then after the class is over, you're going to stand there and you're going to kiss her. And then basically the same way as a child makes a boo-boo and you actually happy they made it in the party, we all clap for you and we chest bump and we give you a sticker. That lets me know right then and there, Taylor's not going to make it to the end of this season right there. I think in that moment, I think it would be fair for Olandria. She didn't say this, but I think it would be fair for Olandria to get the ick at that moment, to see him basically kiss her, tongue her down as if it was the first kiss ever.
And run to Ace.
And run and chest bump Ace, hug all the guys. It's almost as if he did like a dare.
Yes.
It just came off as like not genuine and just very like robotic, very weird.
So Nick and Jeremiah talk, and Jeremiah says, Nick first asked Jeremiah, how do you feel about it? Before I say anything, I just want to see like where your head is at and when it comes to the child. Jeremiah says that it probably won't be a problem, like once he gets past the bad connotation of taking care of another man's child. Well, that tells me right there where his head is at.
I'm about to say.
He says, but, maybe when we have our own kids, it really won't matter at that point. And Nick is pretty much telling him that, I was excited to hear it, but essentially a lot of responsibility comes with that. And that's something you need to be aware of.
I have a question, Blair. Can I ask the question?
Sure.
I said, can I ask the question?
Yes.
Are they going too far with the whole taking care of another man's child thing with the like, hey, it is a big responsibility to talk to someone with a child? Like, we on episode 9, probably a week into the villa.
I don't think so, because I'm thinking back to the conversation he had with Olandria.
Yeah.
And Olandria was telling him about her experience with dating a guy who had a child and, the responsibility that comes with it, but also the things with the children's mother or the children's father and just kind of how that's a dynamic too. So I think that people are trying to give Jeremiah a realistic picture of what it might be like to actually be with this person. I get that Jeremiah is pretty much like, we're gonna get to the end of this and then we're gonna see how it shakes.
That's what he said,
right? But for everybody else, the way that you guys are portraying it is y'all like kind of want to be a couple for real. And if you are really taking this girl seriously, then you do have to take into account what it would be like to take care of, in his words, another man's child. And I will say that her baby dad or the father of her child came out saying that he's an active father and all this type of stuff. And even Nick said, even if she tells you don't have to worry about that stuff, you want to be involved. You don't want to be somebody sitting on the couch, the kid asking for cereal, and you like, wait till your mom comes out the bathroom. You know what I'm saying?
No, that's wild, right? The reason why I say like these conversations just seem a little too much is y'all can't even agree to be closed off in Fiji. Where y'all at presently, in the moment, y'all can't even agree to basically be closed off. But we're talking about weddings. We're talking about...
Oh, no, I'm saying she's definitely taking it too far.
But he's over here saying, like, it's the whole responsibility of taking care of another man's child. No one asked you to do that. Like my whole thing is, I understand that Huda is leading the conversation and she may be strong-arming him into basically thinking about, hey, you may have to father somebody else's kid and things like that. But at the end of the day, you are not even leading the whole situation that you are in presently of, are you closed off or not?
See, I just feel like if somebody has a kid, you automatically have to think, how involved do you want to be with the child? Like, you can't just say, I'm just getting to know you and I'm going to think about your kid later.
Why not?
Because they come as a package. You can't separate the two. If you're going to be involved with somebody with a kid, like, you're going to be involved with the kid.
I understand that, but I don't even know, based off of Jeremiah's reaction to what the guy said that got into his head, he can't even basically form his own opinion and stand on it without somebody breaking into his mind and making him think differently.
He probably don't need to date nobody with a kid,
right?
Then.
And my whole thing is, in this moment, you're going to be in Fiji for at least 4 to 6 weeks, right? In this moment, use the whole time to date Huda and get to know her. In this moment, I'm like, I cross that kid bridge once I get there.
But he doesn't want to fall for her and then end up with a responsibility he doesn't want to have.
But my thing is, if you truly fall for her, which is going back to my original point of Jeremiah's playing a game, if you truly fall for her, knowing that you have all the intel, you'd be like, you know what? I accept your kid. But my thing is, I don't think he ever had any intentions to really fall for her outside of, this is the girl that I'm gonna make it to the end with.
Facts. Yeah.
So that's why I'm like, if you really like this girl, getting to know the girl, like in her full totality, should be the first and only objective, because we are in Fiji. We are not in the same state where the kid. We're not even in the country.
See, I disagree.
And my thing is, hey, if I really fall for you, I will accept everything that comes with you, because you told me already that you are a mom. If I fall for you, I fell for you knowing all the information that I know. So it's one thing if I fell for you, you're like, oh yeah, by the way, I'm a mom. But if I really fall for you genuinely, I fell for you knowing that you are a mom. So automatically I will accept your kid. But the whole idea of you don't even want to be closed off, but yet you're talking about taking care of another man's kid. I'm like, bro, decide if you are closed off or not, first of all. And then let's move on from that.
So Shelly tells Austin that she likes him and Ace.
Okay.
She says she's thinking about Austin when she's around Ace, and Austin shares that he was in his head, especially when Ace was licking that whipped cream off of her, and he was like, you guys do look good together. It took Ace time to apply pressure, and Shelly is thinking about that too. She's taking that into consideration.
Yeah. How many episodes are we gonna allow Shelly to lie to Austin?
I was kind of done with it this episode, if I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, I mean, my thing is, I think she is appreciative that he's interested. I think she's like, oh, it's nice. I would explore it because I would give you the respect of you actually choosing me.
Yeah.
But if the shoe was on the other foot, which it will be in a couple of nights to where the girls got to make a choice, let's see where you return the favor of getting to know Austin and choosing him, right? And it will be weird if she do not choose Austin. I ain't gonna hold you because I don't think she really likes Austin like that. I think Austin basically chose her and she just basically respecting the fact that you chose me, but I don't think she likes him.
Yeah. It would be weird if she chose Austin.
Do you think so? Yeah, me too.
Yeah. I don't think I think it would, because she has more of a chemistry and connection with Ace. Do I think that this is going to be long-term relation type stuff? Who knows?
Yeah.
You know, because Ace does seem to be all over the place and he definitely has player vibes. But as far as connections and getting to know each other and building something on the island, Shelly and Ace need to be doing that.
And here's why I feel what I feel. And we go do a deep dive on this weekend, right? Shelly is definitely one of the favorites on the island, right? Right now, Huda is number one. She eclipsed over 300,000 followers on Instagram. Like she got her stance, right?
All right.
But Shelly is one of the favorites. I do not think Ace is a lot of people's favorites. So I think people already gave up on that whole idea of Ace and Shelly being together, and that is our couple of the season because of how Ace is moving around. He got the player vibes. So I don't even think it serves Shelly to basically be in a relationship with Ace.
Well, I would give it room to grow and see where it goes.
Yeah.
So Hannah and Charlie, they are feeling each other. They kiss and soul ties. And Charlie says that he is worried for Austin because things just seem more organic and genuine with him and Shelly versus Ace. They think it seems kind of like for show. Hannah says that it doesn't make sense why Ace is trying so hard with Shelly when he had the chance to choose her.
And guys, these are our winners for season 7 of Love Island USA. Y'all may not like it. I asked y'all, what is the percentages you give Hannah and Charlie to make it to the end?
I almost made myself some coffee.
All of y'all said 0.
When they came on.
And I'm like, listen here. So far, out of all the people who's on the island right now, right? Nobody really cares if Huda wins. People are basically saying, get her off the island. Y'all definitely don't want Amaya. Taylor and Olandria is not going to happen. Nobody really believes Ace because he's a player. No one believes Jeremiah because they believe he's a scammer. The only one that can basically is a couple outside of that is we can hope for Olandria and Nick, maybe. But these are the only ones that's in a couple that seems normal.
But the thing is, number one, they're not showing them enough for us to be invested in their love story.
That's true.
I feel like everything else around them is a lot more interesting. Maybe as time goes on, they might spark our attention. But I mean, production isn't even like putting them on the forefront for us to really care about, to be honest.
And guess what? I'm grateful that they're not.
Okay.
You know?
So Shelly and Olandria talk. Shelly is liking how Ace is pursuing her, but she still thinks about Austin and how all of this might make him feel. And she likes both of them.
Sure, Shelly.
So Sierra gets a text. There will be a leather and lace party tonight. Ariana arrives with a cute little brown wig and a little red bustier. And they talk about who likes to be dominant and submissive. During that, Huda and Jeremiah are whispering back and forth, kind of like having a disagreement or whatever. And I feel like Jeremiah rolls his eyes at Huda probably at least like 5 times a day.
At least.
Minimum.
At least.
So the ladies have to strap their man onto the ex, tell him why he's been a bad boy, and, you know, pull out some type of toy to excite him.
Okay.
So Hannah pulls out a fuzzy on Charlie, spits in the man's mouth.
Wait a minute.
Sierra spanked herself with a paddle, licks Nick all over, and tells him he was being indecisive. Shelly grabs the whip for Austin. Huda grabs some type of rope whip for Jeremiah, and she licks him up from his crotch to his chest.
Okay, Huda.
Olandria gets the paddle for Ace. I'm sorry. Who was it? Taylor. No, Olandria gets the paddle for Taylor and kisses him, and Taylor broke out the handcuffs. Amaya then rubs the fuzzy on Ace, but she respected his boundaries. No touching, no kissing. She probably shouldn't have put that fuzzy on him either.
Facts.
If I'm being honest. So we get 2 guy bombshells that enter the villa. So Pepe is here, and he is here for Hannah and Sierra, and Jalen is here for Olandria. And I was like, finally, somebody put some pressure on her. So the men get turned around. Their ladies are placed on the X behind them. Pepe makes out with all the ladies. Ace is cheering when Amaya gets kissed. Jalen kisses all the ladies, but I felt like he kind of took his time with Olandria, grabbing her booty, and Taylor was cooking his boots, trying to make it stop.
Yeah.
So the girl bombshell comes in. Her name is Iris. She says that she's there for Jeremiah and Nick. She also makes out with everyone, and when she gets to Jeremiah, Huda is leaned all the way back and tells her, B, you can quit. Basically, stop touching on my man. And so I don't even know if she really got a good kiss in for real. And then Nick is lifting his leg up, about to wrap his legs around this girl.
He should have. He should have.
And that is where we end.
Based on what the comments are saying, y'all not really a big fan of Jalen. His name Jalen?
Yeah.
Yeah, y'all not a big fan of Jalen. And my thing is, who do y'all want for Olandria? What type of bombshell do y'all want? Do y'all want all the bombshells to be Miguel of last season? Real cool, tall. You get what I'm saying? Like I say, give the bombshells a chance. I think Jalen would not have a hard time basically making his presence known more than Taylor, at least, right? Now, when it comes to the woman bombshell with Iris, I think her name is, Jeremiah is not turning his head for her.
No, he's not.
Not even close.
Because didn't he say if some foreign-ish come in, that's pretty much all he wants?
He said it would take a lot for him to turn his head. It would have to be somebody foreign.
Okay.
So I don't think she is foreign enough for him to turn his head. But listen here, Huda loved throwing that B word around.
Yeah.
And then eventually after, she liked to throw the sister word around.
Yeah.
It's almost like you got to be a B word first and then you be the sister. So here's the thing about it. I think personally, there might be a chance because Iris is coming in for Jeremiah and Nick. Nick has shown himself to, whenever there's 2 options, he like to play the number game. He like to do the 70-30, 50-50, 30-70. Like, so I think with Nick, Nick is just there to have fun. He just likes, right? I don't think he's as loyal to Sierra as Sierra may think he is. As he told her, he said, look, now I can focus 100% on you because Bella's gone, not because I really,
Yeah, I'm into you for real.
Or not because there's other options here for me, right? So I think Nick and Iris, they may hit it off, but at the same time, I will say, Charlie, be careful, brother, because my man may get Hannah. I think my man may get Hannah. What is your thoughts on the bombshells in this episode?
I actually was cool with the bombshells. I think they came in, they made a splash, they weren't scared, they jumped right in and was ready to shake things up, and I think that's what the villa needs, especially for the guys. I think some of them are getting a little bit too comfortable, and I think it's time for the guys to come in and put some pressure on the ladies, especially Olandria. Taylor, you're not doing enough for me.
Yeah, Taylor need to go.
Yeah,
I think Taylor need to go. Anything else?
I do want to say there's stuff going on online about people talking about bring Bella back.
No, please. Do not bring Bella
Bella's
back.
where she needs to be.
No,
okay?
No.
Bella, especially with this competition, we did see her step out of her shell, so I'll give that to her. But y'all, this is Love Island.
Yeah.
I don't want nobody scared on Love Island.
Yeah,
Come on.
Yeah, as a matter of fact, we may touch on that podcast episode this weekend. But based on the notes that she was saying, something about Taylor was talking to her and things like that and saying like, hey, if no one chooses you, I choose you and things of that nature. I'm going to talk about that. But Bella, no.
Yeah, we'll get into the deep dives this weekend.
I don't want to see Bella. I don't want to see her casa. Don't bring her back. I don't want to see Bella no more. She's not and she said something across the lines of, hey, the production they didn't really show my personality on camera. They basically cut off a lot of her scenes.
I feel like I saw
and I was like, hey, they chose the most interesting scenes. It's still you that happened. And
don't get me wrong, I think she's a cool girl, and I think that she's a sweet girl, but I think this is not the show for her.
I don't know you. You didn't last more than 5 episodes, so I don't feel that invested in you.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? It is what it is. Anything else?
That's all I got.
Make sure y'all subscribe, like, share, comment. We see y'all tomorrow night.
Bye.